Okay, here we go.
Hey there.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I sounded so country on that. How you doing?
How you doing?
Well, this is not the country episode.
No.
It's not. This is episode 7, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Dun, 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 dun.
There it is. Now, this is actually an interesting episode. Do you know why?
Tell me.
Tell me. Please tell me. Because this is a fan-suggested episode.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
I had no idea.
Yes, this is brought to us by a fan named Chris.
Oh.
And he suggested this film. And yes, you too can suggest episodes to us. We have what's called Fixers. Fixer on the Fixers Lounge on our website. We have people that are part of that crew. And this is a fan-suggested episode. So, Chris, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is for you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. And, if it goes terribly, we can also blame Chris. That's yeah. No, but
no, we would never.
We would never blame Chris. He's a great guy. So Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. Or as I like to call it, Lara Croft Tomb Raider Part 2.
Lara Croft?
Croft.
There you go.
Did I say it wrong?
Well, you said Lara Croft.
Oh.
She is crafty.
She is crafty.
She's a sneaky lady.
Lara Croft. Maybe I was doing it
Lara
Irish.
Croft.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Lara Croft Tomb Raider Part 2 or, Tomb Raider Part, Tomb Raider Light. It feels very much like that film when I was watching this Indiana Jones episode.
It had some similarities.
A lot of, similarities. Maybe the things that maybe they could have learned from Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was, This film was, I think, very divisive. For a lot of people. A lot of people didn't like it. I watched it because I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, we hadn't seen it.
We had not seen this
This
film.
is my first watch.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it quite deserved all the hate that it got.
Right. We enjoyed it.
It was not terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
I thought that there was several things that could have been better. And again, if you're out there and you're like, oh, you kidding me? It's the worst film. We can disagree, and it's okay. I totally accept that. But I came into it with like a very open heart, going, I don't know much about it. I think part of it was, from what I'm recalling of, the people that were talking about this film was like, they didn't like it because they thought that they were replacing Indiana Jones with this new lady that was going to be his replacement. And they were like, oh, they're replacing it. So it's a woman and blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I never got that from the film.
It didn't really seem
feel
like
that to me.
I mean, I could see maybe some spin-offs.
Yeah, maybe.
But she's not Indiana Jones.
No.
She's somebody completely
different. She's a different person.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that it necessarily deserved the hate that it got. But anyway, I think we can jump in and just kind of see what we got here. I mean, now it's a time-traveling movie.
It is.
And, when you're comparing
that old trope.
Yep, that old chestnut. But, here's the deal. It's, to me, you've got some time-traveling movies that are kind of a big ones in my heart. And, of course, I'm talking about Back to the Future and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Right.
Also the top of the pinnacle.
The foundational.
The Mount Rushmore, right?
Right. The foundation upon which all other time travel movies are built
upon. That's right. So this one, it had some confusing parts, but we're going to try to do the right thing. Now, again, we're not here to trash the movie and be like, it's terrible. We actually, truthfully, we take the extra step here. We want to try to fix the movie. Okay?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people...
Make it what it should have been.
We're different than a lot of people. A lot of people just critique it and they just take a dump on it and be like, boo, it's terrible. And then, all right, see you next time. We don't want to just do that. We want you to hear what we think was wrong, and then we honestly try to fix it. And then if you disagree, that's okay. If you agree and go like, oh, that's an interesting idea, then there you go. So
there you go.
Yeah. So the summary. Let's jump into the summary real fast. If you haven't seen it or you just need a recap real quick. Indy is Dial of Destiny. He picks up where Indy is at the twilight of his life, right? Just so it's clearly going to be the last movie that Harrison Ford is going to do. with this Indiana Jones character. But he's just tired. He's worn down, and he's trying to quietly fade into retirement. They actually even have a retirement party for him.
Which he hates.
Which he was like, haha, thanks, I got a clock, cool. Mm-hmm. But then he gets dragged very reluctantly back in to this adventure when his goddaughter, Helena, shows up, and she's chasing this legendary Dial of Destiny Antikythera?
Antikythera.
Yes, Antikythera?
Antikythera?
I heard it, and I was like, I'm going to have to say it later, and I'm going to mess it up. But
basically,
anyway, the Dial of Destiny.
The time dial.
Yes. It's a device rumored to control time. And then Indy is forced into this one last globe-trotting adventure, and he's out there. And, of course, you know who's back?
Who?
The Nazis. There they are. The Nazis are back. There they are.
Clearly the bad guys.
Always got to be the bad guys. And they should be. Now, to be clear.
No, I was just saying they make it very apparent who you're supposed to hate in the Indiana Jones movies. Which
okay.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate making it clear. Those are the bad guys. And it's led by this calculating scientist who he wants to use the dial to rewrite history in his favor. Kind of along the way there, Indy, he's wrestling with his grief that he has because he's lost his son. He's lost his wife.
Literally lost his son died.
Son died, yeah. Mutt, his son died. He's dealing with grief. He's dealing with his age, Oma back, kind of a situation. And the question really of like, honestly, does the world still need Indiana Jones, right?
Right.
And it blends that classic Indy spectacle of the car chases and the tomb raiding and the fist fights and the moving trains and the almost getting hit by the train and get your head up, move it out of the way kind of thing, with kind of a deeper legacy versus loss versus the future. And, when the past is still calling and pulling on you and how to move forward, all of that. Okay. So that's the basic setup for the film. Okay. Yeah. Pretty clear-ish?
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's jump into Act 1.
Act 1.
Yeah. Here we go. The cold opening flashback. Okay.
Yeah.
This is where Indy is de-aged.
Yeah.
But it's the whole point of it was like they go back and they're trying. It's he and this other archaeologist Basil, right? And what they're trying to do is find this the spear,
the spear of Christ,
spear. And Hitler needs it because he's like, gotta have that spear, I
right?
Better get it. And
he thinks it has magical powers,
right.
And so. Yeah, the Nazis have acquired it, apparently.
Right. And he's looking for it. He's trying to find it.
First of all, I thought Indy looked pretty good.
Yeah, ish. I think he looked pretty good, too.
I think they did a good job de-aging him. There were a couple of times when, when kind of his surroundings sort of became CG as well.
And then it became cartoonish.
And then it kind of looked like a cartoon. Right. But when he was playing against other live people... I thought they did a great job.
Good,
so I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, the technology has come a long way, and it's going to keep on getting better. There's going to be a point where anybody can be up there and look at whatever age they want and sound, and it's going to be better and better. And then I don't know where that's going to go, but that's a discussion for another time. But in this circumstance, he did look pretty good. It was just too long. It was too long of a sequence.
That whole first sequence?
Yeah, it was really long, and he just kept going. I'm like, I guess he's going to be de-aged for the whole movie. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it was a long time. I agree.
So, yeah, they're looking for this spear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the MacGuffin to get them there, right? But then they, fall into this whole thing of like, there's also this dial.
Right. They end up on the train. Indy's trying to rescue Basil, who's been captured by the Nazis.
Right.
And... the Nazis are suddenly like, after they had gotten this spear,
right?
Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's a fake.
The spear is fake.
The spear is a fake.
But this dial.
But
right
here in my briefcase,
I've got the real power.
So there's this doctor. I don't remember what his name was at the beginning of the movie. It becomes Dr. Schmidt later, but
yeah,
he has in his briefcase this dial.
Voller, I think is his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he just is like, well, the spear's a fake, but have no fear. We actually have
something that's actually powerful.
Something that's actually powerful, and here it is. And he just happens to have it in his briefcase.
Right. So yeah, and so that's okay. So the issues are, it's a silly MacGuffin to get them there on the train, and the de-aging, and it was too long. So look, here's some fixes. Okay, and this fix, actually, I think is kind of a big one. I think it's and I know to hit it right off the top, I think this fix is kind of a big deal in my opinion. And again, people might disagree with this one, and that's cool. That's totally fine. But honestly, I think it needs it. Okay, so here we go. Instead of just doing a flashback, have it have some purpose. Okay, we don't want a random Nazi chase scene with no purpose at all. Tie this flashback directly to like Indy's guilt or his failure in somewhere. For example, he fails to save somebody important, like maybe the archaeologist Helena's dad, who doesn't survive this.
Right.
He dies. He dies tragically and sadly. And the other thing is, look, you're not looking for the dial. I mean, you're not looking for the spear. You're looking for the dial.
Yeah, there was really no reason why the dial couldn't have been
the thing.
The thing that they were trying to retrieve in that first scene.
Because they talk about that spear, and you know when it comes back?
Never.
Ever.
Never. Like, that spear is never heard about again.
I'm like, is that spear coming back? Nah.
So it wasn't necessary. Like, why couldn't Indiana and Basil have been there?
And Basil is there because he's an expert on the dial already.
He's already an expert on the dial. So
he's done the research.
That's right. He's already obsessed with it. He already knows everything there is to know about it. They're there to retrieve the dial.
Right.
Things go wrong.
And he dies. And now the past is, the flashback of the past isn't a spectacle. It's a setup.
It explains everything that's to follow.
Right.
It explains the motives of almost everybody in the movie if that happens. If Basil dies and he's already an expert, he's already obsessed with the dial going in.
Right.
Then you'll see how it clarifies everybody's motives moving forward in the movie.
Is it too easy of an answer? Maybe. Maybe it's too simple, but I think it works.
It definitely works.
I think it works. I think it's something that like, oh, okay, all right, there you go. So, basically, I kept asking myself, why do we care about the dial at all? If this is, as we move forward in the story, I'm like, why?
They don't even really tell us what it is.
They don't.
In the first scene, all he says is that it's powerful and that whoever has this is like a god.
Yeah.
But we have no idea what it does.
And they kind of allude to it a little bit. It doesn't need to be like, oh, is that what it does? We saw the trailer,
Yeah.
Right?
Like if you saw the trailer, you already know that it's a time device.
Then don't just try to reveal it. Let us in on what's going on. Tell us up front what it does, okay? It's okay. And tell us, it doesn't just do this. It makes you a god. It allows you to go to the past. And we get it. Okay, cool. But here's the thing. Here's the fix. Each character needs to be specific about what they want. Our villain, later on, is discovered that he wants the dial because he's a Nazi, y'all, right? So we're thinking, oh, he wants to fix the mistakes that Hitler made. No, it's not his goal. His goal is to kill Hitler.
Yeah.
He wants to kill Hitler and take over, and he be the man.
Right.
Dude, and that's a big reveal. Okay, I don't need that at the end. I need that now. I want to know that you're the bad guy. I know you're a bad guy because you got the swastika. I get that. But I want to know your motive now because it's way more clear right up front how the stakes are raised, why I need to stop you.
Right. Really, we go through the entire movie without understanding anyone's motivation,
Right.
good guy, bad guy, any guy in the movie.
Right.
We're like, what does it do? Why do they want it?
Yeah.
Why do they need it? Why is everybody going to such great lengths to have it?
Yeah.
And it just wasn't very clear.
It wasn't clear. And then
so at the beginning, if you tell us, okay, tell us what the device does,
exactly.
and reveal why the bad guy wants it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I think it's okay to do that because everybody's motive at this for the wanting the dial is just, in my opinion, weird. I can't. It's like, oh, I want to help the Nazi party. No, I'm going to kill Hitler and take over and be in charge. Helena's, she wants it for money?
Yeah, her whole character is based around this idea that she doesn't care about anything or anybody but money. She wants the dial
so she can sell it.
So that she can sell it.
And then
it made her character so shallow and unlikable that, and also unbelievable, because through the whole movie you're kind of going, really? Is that really true?
Yeah.
No, there's got to be a better motive. It's going to be revealed later, right?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
So, look, the fixes are, like I said, our doctor here, he reveals that he is going to kill Hitler and he's going to take over. Indy wants the dial so he can stop that. And then Helena, because we fixed the dad situation, she wants the dial so she can go back and keep her dad from dying, so she can grow up with a father.
Yeah.
What a beautiful, of course you want that. And then it's not about money. It's about wanting a dad.
Yeah, because then you're actually pulling for her to succeed in her mission.
I didn't pull for her at all.
No, nobody wanted her to get it and sell it.
No, you just want it for the money. Wonk, wonk. Terrible motivation. Okay, so here's the thing about that, though, with Indy. And I'm going to take this a little step further. So in the story, if we do this fix, and the father, his friend Basil dies, and he has a piece of this, follow me here. It does this really cool throwback to Last Crusade. He kind of becomes a protector. He becomes like the knight protecting this sacred object. And I think it's a really beautiful idea. If he's keeping this from the world, then because he's like, it's my job to keep this safe.
So he's protecting the dial.
Yeah.
And that's how he's spending his latter years.
Right.
Rather than just disillusioned,
right,
grumpy,
and sad,
cantankerous.
Yeah. He's got a job to do, and he's a protector now.
Because they show him in the classroom, and he's he hates teaching now.
And we'll get a little bit
to that. He doesn't care about it.
Yeah, but like, if you take this and make him a knight that's basically saving the world by protecting this dial so you can't get in there and change history, it's a really noble thing, and you really love Indy even more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my fix. Because the next problem... Indy just kind of gets Buzz Lightyeared. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's this shell of a dude. He's reluctantly pulled in, and it's by something kind of flashy and cool, and it's just like, oh, here's the... And he's like, oh. I mean, they're talking about the space mission.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like Woody and...
It was a little bit like Woody and Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like, oh, you're being phased out by these new things that we're excited about, landing on the moon and all of these other things.
Present day Indy is old, grumpy, disconnected. He's got divorce papers for Marion, just sad apartment. I mean, he's literally banging on his neighbor's door with a bat going, oh, keep it down. I mean... Yeah.
I mean, you can't get much closer to get off my lawn.
Exactly. It's a second.
That.
It's a second and a half away from get off my lawn, kids. It's sad. And his current day intro, it just leans too much into this old, and he's broken. And I'll take vulnerable Indy, but not defeated Indy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Heartbroken Indy?
Yeah.
Sure.
But
he has to have a purpose.
Yeah.
He's Indiana Jones.
So that's partially the last thing of he has a purpose because he has this thing he's guarding. So that's kind of pulled in from the last fix. But here's the fix with this, okay? Older Indy needs a spark, okay? Yes, you can show him teaching the class that's like kind of disillusioned and like whatever, but you can see in his eye like he still loves the history of things. He still truly loves like the passion of finding these beautiful things that happened throughout history, right? And he's never lost that, and that kind of sets up then this one last ride for me. Right? If he still has that, instead of reluctantly being pulled in.
Yeah, then when the opportunity arises for him to actually have this last kind of adventure, he's all in.
He's in for it. So
why do we keep having why do writers keep having the main character be dragged in reluctantly to these situations?
He has to do it. And I have kind of an interesting twist with this. And I'm going to pitch this to you. And I don't know if you're going to like this or not. I don't know if the listeners are going to like this or not. But I have kind of a pitch, okay? Mm-hmm. So Helena, who's now her motivation is she desperately wants her dad back. She knows that Indy is the protector of this piece.
Right.
Okay? She shows up to try to get the piece, but then the Nazis show up and kidnap her right then and there, and they get her. Okay. In the original, she gets away. They get her, and they're like, "All right, bring the piece, and we'll trade out." Blah blah. She's working with the Nazis.
Okay.
Okay. Follow me through. Follow me. She knows the only way that piece is going to come out is if she is in trouble, in danger. That's right.
And he has to trade the piece and try to rescue her.
She's working with the Nazis but she's going to double cross the Nazis. She's not really working. She's playing
She's playing both sides so that she can get the dial.
She needs the dial, and she knows Indy will never give it up. But for the goddaughter, he'll bring it out into the open. And she uses the Nazis to get what she wants, then she double crosses the Nazis.
Right.
Boom.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, all right.
Also, I think one of the reasons why they made her motivation about money is they were trying to show her as this kind of independent, resourceful.
Yeah, but
like, I'm not your typical lady.
No,
like, I'm strong and I don't really care about this other things. I just care about money. But if she's working in a way where she's clever.
Right.
And she's kind of double crossing people and she's playing both sides, you show her as resourceful in that way.
Well, that leads definitely to the next problem. Just segued perfectly into it. It's Helena issues number 1.
What?
There's 3. I have
okay.
I
Helena
have 3.
issues.
Here we go.
Let's jump into that.
She's introduced, and I think she just looks smug and self-serving and not in a charming Han Solo kind of way, to use a Harrison Ford moment. But just unlikable, honestly. I don't think she's really super likable because everything is all about the money, and it makes it hard to root for her or care about her character arc at all.
Yeah, really the only reason we like her is because she's connected to Harrison Ford.
Right. So the fix, Helena fix number 1, is you got to make her more of a charming rogue, okay, less smug. And again, she's doing, because we've already fixed this with the dad, she's got a noble reason to try to do this. She's not just trying to make money, right? She's not a money-hungry character. But she's double-crossed the Nazis, right? She's double-crossed them, and that's kind of the goal here. Is her character needs to have stronger character arc because in the end, she just wants a life with her dad. Yeah. And that was stolen from her, and that's not cool.
Right.
Okay? All right, cool. Act 2. Man, we are trucking along here. Problem number...
Are the other problems with Helena later?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was kind of expecting it to be 1, 2, 3, but I guess...
in this one, it is. This one is...
Helena problem number 2 is right off the bat.
Right off the bat in
okay.
Act 2, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No.
Spoilers.
That's okay. Indy and Helena, they globetrot across the world. They go driving sequences, Greek caves. But Helena doesn't really grow.
No, she does.
She just swings between greedy and helpful.
Well, and she's only helpful because it benefits her.
Right.
Like, she's not actually helpful. She's just helpful because it helps her get what she wants, which would be fine if what she wants was a pure, something pure and something we could root for.
Right. And so this one is a quick fix because it's kind of already been said, but the problem is the issue is because it happens across the whole film, she has to grow. And so that was my main point of like, she's got to grow. Her character has to grow as she continues with Indy. She's seeing, the connection with her father, and Indy starts to become kind of like that connection for her.
Right. The father figure that she's been looking for.
And that's kind of the fix. You've got to make that connection more. And we see her why. We see her why. And that's super important for every character. Okay?
Definitely.
Next, Teddy. Teddy.
Who?
Exactly. He's this child sidekick person that's shoved in with zero purpose other than it looked like they needed Short Round 2.0 kind of thing. It's just like, we need this kid. Short Round here.
I have to say there were a lot of throwbacks is probably not the right word, but there were a lot of things that were reminiscent of the previous films.
And I think that
a
was
lot
on
of times
purpose.
it was on purpose, but sometimes it felt like they just put it in just to kind of harken back to something that happened previously.
That's no reason
but
to
it really didn't have a purpose in this film other than, hey, this happened before.
Right.
And look, it's happening.
Yeah.
This is similar. Look at that.
Well, I called it later on. I'll jump ahead. I called it the greatest fix, the greatest hits, right? The greatest hits for Indy. Bugs and methane tombs and buried remains and last kiss sequence, with his current wife, the certain divorce papers
with Miriam.
And then it's like it's all shoehorned in, and it's like, oh, here's the greatest hits. Here we go. So
which is fine. I love reminiscent stuff,
but
it's got to be. It has to have a purpose. And Teddy
was undercooked. No chemistry with Indy.
Yeah, he didn't have one.
He felt like a studio mandated kid that was thrown in there because some producer went, you know what we need? What we need here is a kid.
Yeah.
Short Round was fun. Short Round, remember him? Put him in there. We need a kid.
He was popular.
God. Boo. Boo, I say.
Teddy, the actor who portrayed him did a fine job.
Great kid.
There was nothing wrong with how the character was acted or portrayed. It's just that there was no purpose to the character at all.
Yeah. So here's the fix. Teddy, and I'll give you the greatest hits fix as well. I'll give you a twofer in this one.
Okay. Teddy's
fix, instead of some random pickpocket kid that Helena finds, make Teddy like the son of maybe one of Indy's former students, or maybe the kid or grandkid of Saul. The guy who is his best friend that comes back, and he's fantastic actor.
Yeah,
by the way.
Amazing.
Yeah. And
they even show his grandkids.
They show his grandkids.
So why not have one of the grandkids
be one of the people? Yeah.
Be Teddy.
Yeah, and then then this kid is looking up to Indy because they've known him his whole life, and then Indy, even though Indy might be a little disillusioned in parts, he's forced to model heroism for the kid, right? Because that's a built-in emotional arc. You're done. You've got to be the hero,
right?
Because this kid is looking up to you, right?
Right.
And then for the greatest hits thing, the bugs and the blah blah blah. Look, truthfully, because they're walking down this hallway,
they're in this cave.
Oh, there's bugs. Oh, get the bugs off me! And then when they get out of the hallway, it's over. And I'm like, what? Look, guys, if there doesn't need to be bugs, don't make bugs. It doesn't have to be all the greatest hits all the time. Have a reason, have less of them, and the ones that you do have, make them work and make them make sense, because then you've earned it. You've actually earned that moment to happen rather than just shoehorning it in. Okay?
Right.
All right. Our villain, he wants to use the dial to go back in time and kill Hitler to replace him. If we know that up front, okay, it's good. And I think it's an interesting idea. I think it's a great idea. It's not developed at all throughout the movie.
No, we don't even know that that's his plan.
And whenever we find out, it's too late, really, and we don't feel at all. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. His kill Hitler has to happen way earlier. So the fix is it's got to happen right off the bat, right? But then he needs to be obsessed throughout the film with becoming the perfect, leader.
Führer. Yeah,
the perfect. He could be the one. He could be the one to make it all happen.
He thinks that Hitler messed it all up.
To outdo him. To actually outdo him and be a better
to create the Nazi party that should have been.
Right. And that's chilling. I mean, I think it's a better original idea. It gives it character weight.
Yeah, it makes him creepier.
But it's got to be clear from the onset. Like, when we first meet, he first meets Indy, right? Not just some, because he meets Indy later on when they're trying to buy it, and he's like, do I even know you? He should 100% know who he is.
Yeah,
he's the crazy guy that wants to rule everything. Boo. I say boo. All right, next.
Okay.
Action sequences. Look, they were actually really good, but they just felt like fillers. A lot of them.
Definitely.
Like the horse and the subway.
I mean, they were drawn out.
They were long.
I'm all about good action sequences.
Heck yeah.
I love a good action sequence.
Love them.
Action movies are my favorite genre.
Yeah.
But these, you're right. They kind of felt drawn out. And again, it felt like they were just trying to pull in things that had happened in other movies rather than something that was pushing this story forward.
Can I be honest? I felt like they were like putting extra stuff in there to be like, look, Harrison can still do it, huh? See, let me show you. Right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That's what it
maybe
felt
a
like
little
to
bit.
me. They were like, he's not old. He's not old at all. Look
I don't know.
Doing.
It kind of felt like they were like, we'll make the last Indiana Jones
the
most action-packed
ever.
We're going to stuff everything into this movie.
How many stunts? All of them.
All of them. They had the full stunt set. I mean, there was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, so for a fix, look, if you just tie every action sequence to a piece of the story arc, then you're fine, right? The chase scene, this is where Helena betrays Indy, or this is where, the double cross happens, and this is where, Teddy almost drowns, but Indy jumps in to save him, and you know what I mean? Those kinds of sequences would work action-wise if there's a point to them, not just like, hey, what would be fun? Horse in a subway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just like cool eye candy, it's cool and it means something.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Act 3. Here we go. Problem. Math schmath. Math schmath.
They talk about math quite a bit in this film.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
With the dial, they try to explain it.
The doctor keeps saying,
this is what it'll do.
It's not magic. It's based on math.
And it never changes and it's clear. But yet, it's not. It's not clear.
It's not clear at all.
It's not clear. What the dial does is confusing. And then it didn't work the way he said it was going to work.
Yeah.
He was like, I can open it up to this time, and it's super specific. But it does. It opens up to one specific place.
Right.
Apparently only.
Which we don't realize until this kind of moment at the end of the film.
Yeah.
When they meet Archimedes, who's the
builder and
the most amazing mathematician.
Right.
And they meet him, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, he created this dial to open up to this time, and this is the only time it will ever open up to.
Right.
So
yeah,
the whole thing about time travel and what the whole movie was about, and all of a sudden it's revealed that
it's not a dial.
That dial never would have done what they wanted it to do in the first place.
It's a doorway. That's because it's like, why were there dials on the dial?
Right.
In the first place, it's just a door.
What?
It should have a knob.
Yeah, what?
Right?
It had like these settings where you could change the settings. And I guess it doesn't matter what settings you put in. It was always going to bring you back to that one
place.
Spot. So, we've watched the whole movie. We're getting to the end, and then that's revealed. And I mean, just kind of the eye roll that happened at that
I was
moment.
like,
what?
I'm confused now.
Oh, man.
So for a fix, look, honestly, don't go into the workings of it. You don't have to explain everything, because when you do and it doesn't pay off, we're like, wait, what? Just give us, like, the dial opens up a portal to travel through time, and the assumption is that they can go anywhere, and that's what he believes. But it just opens up to the one point, and they're like, oh, we didn't realize, or whatever, because they go back, way back in time, to the time of Archimedes, and the planes are, like, flying out there, and they're like, those are dragons.
Right. Like,
what?
they go way back to, like, ancient Rome and ancient Greece.
Yeah.
And there's a battle happening, and all of a sudden they're
At
in
Syracuse.
the middle. Yeah, they're
Right.
in the middle of this battle.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. It was
Yeah.
fine. I mean, the costumes were a little bit,
Yeah, you thought it was like a gunny sack. You're like, oh.
No, it looked a little bit cosplay to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't super convinced,
Yeah.
that this was ancient Greece. But the point is that, you realize it only goes back to this one time, and Archimedes planned it that way
the math
from the very beginning.
The math wasn't mathing. That's what.
The math did not math
They did
at
not
all.
math. Why did Indy get taken by the bad guys at the end of the movie?
Yeah, exactly.
They're shooting at him in the present time. They're shooting at him, and they're like, "Oh, get him!" And they shoot him. They shoot him in the shoulder.
They actually shoot him.
We'll talk about that one in a second. And then, like, he's down, and then they're like, "All right, get him."
Not get him.
Bring him. And I'm like, maybe. Can I give you a quick fix, writers? Maybe say something like, okay, go ahead and, we've disarmed him, or like he gets shot and the doctor's like, no, don't shoot him.
We need him.
We need him. We might, or we might take him. We might need him.
We might need him. He might be helpful.
He might be helpful. He might.
But 1 second they're trying to kill him.
And then they're like, all right, take him.
And then
we need him for the end scene. So
bring him along.
Bring him along.
For no reason.
No
like
reason
they
at
could
all.
have just killed him, which is what they were trying to do.
Right.
But
So-
they just bring him.
So the fix is they say something like that, like, we might need him.
Yeah.
Right? That's quick.
Don't kill him.
Don't kill
we
him.
might need him.
So the thing that I just said, the next issue, Indy was shot. And then, like, he was super okay for, like, a very long time.
Yeah.
He was in the
Now
plane.
he was shot in the shoulder.
Okay, but blood is still blood is coming out. Okay, it should be. Blood doesn't just like, it was only in the shoulder, so it's cool. We're not gonna bleed out that hole. It's gonna keep going. But he was sitting there like, okay, no problem, all good. Okay, quick fix, guys. The bad guys are like, hey, patch him up. We don't want him to die yet. I mean,
Right.
something.
He's still useful. Let's bandage that wound.
Right, just show him patching him up, because he wasn't, and I was just like, dude, he's just chilling with that
That bullet.
that friggin' bullet wound in him.
He is tough.
Yeah,
Tougher than we think.
oh, he's Indy, right? All right, time travel climax to the siege of Syracuse. So Indy meets Archimedes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Indy wants he's like, I'm gonna stay in the past. This contradicts everything about him.
It doesn't track.
He's a
at
historian, not
all.
a time tourist. He's Indiana Jones, but then he's like, I want to stay in the past. It's out of character, man.
It's way out of character. Plus, they're in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably
And he's shot.
yeah.
What?
I I guess he's kind of doing the thing of like, I'm no use in the future, I guess, but he can't make his whole life being a guy who values history, and then he's like, I'm going to stay in the past. It doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work.
I think part of it was they were trying to show, finally, a little bit of emotion from Helena and her connection to him, because she was like, no, you have to come back. You have to come back.
Yeah.
But it didn't really play out that way,
No.
because it kind of felt like she just wanted him to come back because she was afraid he was going to mess up history.
Right. And it was bad.
It just literally made no sense.
Yeah,
why in the world he would want to stay.
Right. So for the fix, instead of wanting to stay, Indy should choose to go back. Of course. Why? Because the past is present. is precious, right? And it leads to the present. Okay, he realizes he's still worth something. He's got things that are worth living for. Marion, right?
Right.
Specifically, his wife that he decides he wants to live. He wants to continue that legacy, and he wants to continue to teach. He wants to continue to teach to show people what he's learned in life.
Right. And also get this, for example,
right,
and maybe you're about to talk about this,
right,
but if Helena's motive through the whole movie is to bring her dad back,
right,
wouldn't this be a beautiful time to realize that that's never going to happen, but she has Indiana.
right.
She has the father figure that she's always longed for.
It's under Helena Fix Part 3.
Well, I'm running it all, but
that's okay.
It kind of segues nicely into that point.
That's right. Helena punches Indy to bring him back.
She knocks him out cold.
Out of place beat. She literally removes his choice completely. She knocks him out, robs him of his choice of what his final character arc, which should have been, hey, you choose to come back because you got something to live for. So, for a fix, instead of knocking him out, Helena is trying to bring, she's trying to bring her dad back, and she and Indy have that moment of like, look, I don't need to bring him back because you've been that figure for me all along, and I've we can start now, right?
Yeah.
Her quest, she's able then to let go of her quest for her dad and live life now with Teddy and with Indy.
Yeah.
And they're going to be teamed up together until the end.
Which I think they were kind of going for that, but they didn't. They never really had that moment.
Nope.
She never really changed her motivation or
not a bit,
or revealed that this was something deeper for her.
Right.
So they didn't really have that, and I think that they should have.
Right. So there's another one. There's an Archimedes moment, and that's a cool reveal because I think that's neat. But it was underwhelming, for the payoff there.
Right.
Of that, because he just shows up and they're like, "Hey, there he is." Archimedes. The fix with this is, I think, instead of just some little cameo, he should have been able to speak with Indy and give him some challenging words and some wisdom, history must be okay. I won't do the Latin. I don't want to lose the listeners here.
Okay. Yeah.
But
just translate it.
Because I can do it in Latin, but I'll just do it in English.
Right.
History must be, remembered, not challenged or changed, or give him some kind of a that. Then it ties it back together to go. You can't live in the past. You have to be present in your now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's like, oh, wow, yes, you're right. And instead of going oh, I want to live in the past. No, of course he doesn't want to live in the past. He's challenged to live the future, live in the present as best as you can. And that gives him the thing of of course I'm going back. I need to repair my relationship with Marion, right?
Yeah.
And so there we go. And the end of it is he does come back and Marion is there and his friends are there. And the ending was just rushed. It was unearned. It tries to tie a little bow on everything, but it skips over any kind of emotional rebuild. Look, here's a fix. How about earn that moment? Maybe Indy does something I don't know, apologize.
Right.
For shutting her out after Mutt's death, right? For admitting that he was broken and he needs her. And that's okay. Instead of choosing to do this little pullback of where does it hurt? Oh, my elbow.
Right.
And
where doesn't it hurt?
Where does it? Right here, here and here and over here. Don't do that. Look, you can do that, but how about just apologizing first, okay? It's okay, guys, to apologize when you mess up.
Right.
Indy,
having a real moment.
This is a real moment. Could have been beautiful.
And of course, if Helena and he had the moment in the past, then you're going to see that when they come back to the present.
Right.
There's going to be a connection there that, she's let go of the things that she knows that she can't change.
Right.
So she's living in the present. Indiana now realizes that he can let go of things that he wasn't able to let go of.
Right.
And he's living in the present. But yeah, it was just kind of rushed. He wakes up, everybody kind of comes in, and then they leave to go get ice cream.
Right.
What?
Yeah, it was unemotional, it was unearned, and it was not satisfying. And he's got to, earn those moments. It's not fair to the audience to expect him to be like, oh, a pullback moment from another movie. Okay, that's cute. I love them again. Nope, not fair, not cool. Overall, final reaction here. Indy, he shouldn't be just some old dodgy dude. He needs to have a spark for life. Helena's character has got to have a better character arc
and a better motive for doing what she's doing.
Shift her worldview. And the villain has to be obsessed with evil. And then, in time travel, make it clear what you're doing. Don't muddy it up.
Make it clear what you're trying to do. And then it's an actual twist when it,
it goes back to this one moment, right?
Yeah, when it ends up being something different.
And Indy needs to choose life and love and reconciliation with Marion. And then their relationship would work moving forward in their world. So instead, it was kind of a bloated nostalgia ride. And we get the meaningful Indy adventure, but, it just was a little sad. Because it started kind of cool, and I was like, oh, it's pretty good. And then it just kind of slowly started to unravel and get tired. And just kind of probably like Indy did.
Yeah. I do have to say, I did like this movie. I enjoyed watching it.
Right.
But the whole time, I was thinking, oh, this should have happened instead. Or this could have been better if. And so that's why we do this, is because there's a lot of great films out there that would be even better with just a few, a few fixes. And this is one of those.
So, So that's it, everybody. I hope you had a good time with us. I enjoyed this film, and I think, with those fixes, it could be
could have been a great one.
Could have been a great send-off.
Could have been a classic.
A truly great character.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I love Indiana Jones. It's been a staple of my entire life. I've loved watching all the films. But this one was not the best ending. It was better than The Skull.
Yeah. We'll give it points for that.
We'll give it points for that. In my opinion, it was better than The Skull. The wild adventure of that. And one day we might cover that one. But it was not the best. And it truly, in my opinion, wasn't the send-off that Indy deserved.
Amen.
So that's it, folks. I hope you had a good time, and we'll see you later.
See you next time.